Radio Turku. Suomen Turku.
Hello everyone and welcome for a new episode of Radio Turku. We are here once again in the podcast studio, and today I have some news for you because this is probably one of our last season for Radio Turku. I'm getting pretty busy with work, and very sadly or happily I am graduating soon, and so I will not be able to have access to this studio anymore. So this makes it a bit harder for our team to prepare episode, but let's see what happens in the future. But this is probably, at least for me, my last season. For those who don't know me, my name is Noémie, and I will be animating this episode about music scene in Turku and about life as internationals in Turku today with my co-host
Janne.
Thank you, Janne.
Hello there.
And today we have two guests. So
I'm Ramtin.
And
I'm Tsegaye.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. So maybe, Janne, you can tell us a bit about yourself, since it's your first time as a co-host on this episode.
Yeah, I live here in Turku, been living here almost for 10 years now. I have a big passion for music. I've been playing the guitar for my whole life, and then I've started to sing a bit more lately. And I've been playing around with some electronic music as well, so I'm pretty happy to be a co-host of this particular episode.
Yeah, at the moment it looks like Janne is in a choir concert every night, so he comes to our parties dressed in a very fancy suit, like Finnish style or Swedish style, I don't know.
Yeah, the choir is Brahe Djeknar from Åbo Academy University.
Okay, if you don't know what to listen to this weekend, you can maybe attend their concert. But now I would like to get to know a bit more about our guest of the day. So maybe, Ramtin, you can start by telling a bit about yourself. Why did you move to Finland? What are you doing at the moment? I know you have a very full CV and life in general. So if you can try to summarize it in a few minutes.
Okay. I'm Ramtin. I'm from Iran. I'm living in Finland about almost 5 years. And in Turku about almost 3 years. My musician life was started just by birth because I grew up in a musician family. My father used to be a musician. So I fall in love. I remember when I was like 3 years old, listening to my father's cassettes. That was the beginning of my journey. And now I am working as a full-time psychologist and also a musician.
Okay, I think we can congratulate Ramtin, who just got the Finnish nationality like few weeks ago. And so clap, clap, well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And
Suomalainen.
And who also spent a few years studying Finnish and who is a psychologist in Finnish. I think you're the only person that I know who raised the Finnish level so high that he can be actually working in the field of medicine, like psychological health, except people who work as nurse. I know no one who is a foreigner.
Mental health.
Yeah, in mental health, sorry. So congrats for this. And
Thank you.
And congrats for the nationality. And maybe now we can turn to Tsegaye, who might tell us a bit more, because I know his DJ CV, but I don't know much about the rest of his life. So that's also an occasion for me to learn more about this.
Okay, I'm Tsegaye. Like, I've been in Finland over 15 years. I was originally living in Vaasa for 10 years, and then now I moved to Turku 5 years ago. I'm studying in Åbo Academy University.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit more about Klubi? Like, for people who have never heard about it, what is it?
Yeah, Klubi is like I would say that the only electronic music club in Turku. Throughout the year, we are always open, and then that is the best place if you are into electronic music or rave culture.
know that both of you are often DJs for a few events. For instance, I think you both played in Kivi Paino. We had the organizers a few months ago coming to the mic, so you can listen to this episode. But can you tell us what is TYEMYY? Because we have talked about it so many times in Radio Turku and we never properly defined it because we are not part of it. So how could you define TYEMYY in Turku?
Maybe Ramtin can.
TYEMYY means Turun yliopiston elektroniset ystävien ystävät.
Can you say it in English?
Turku University electronic music lovers, friends.
I think it's maybe the funniest name of a student organization or an organization in Turku. It's the Friends of Electronic Music.
It shows that everyone is welcome, I think. One really nice thing about TYEMYY for me is that if you follow their Instagram page, they regularly have newcomers night where everyone can test a bit the equipment and learn maybe what it is to create a DJ set. So for me, it's a really nice association also that is very international. Can you tell us a bit about what kind of events they organize or what's the mood?
TYEMYY, I think, is a non-profit organization running by board.
Yeah.
And they organize underground electronic music parties, mostly, I would say, techno style.
Yeah, different
types of music, but mostly techno. And that's what I now remember.
There is like different type of events, similar like as UG, and then mostly it's underground, and then they have also partnerships like with different nightclubs like Baro or like UG, and then also
other non-profit organizations.
Yes,
organize parties.
Yeah, and also like for example, there was a time that TYEMYY events has been they were having one stage in Kesaraha festival.
Ah, yeah, true.
Yeah, and also Ilmiö festival. There is always a basement for DJs, so it's also kind of also a bigger culture.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you already told us that you started your love for music started very early with the cassettes that you found. I have quite a similar story actually. I've listened to my dad's old cassettes on the cassette player, and I don't know what's gonna happen to the youth of today when they don't have those cassettes anymore.
They have
generation.
But how did you get into the electronic music and maybe playing electronical music?
Maybe I should tell my musical story from beginning if we have time.
Yeah, let's go.
I started playing music at the age of 12 with Iranian instruments. Then because my father was a drummer, I started playing drums. So I started playing drums when I was 15. And also I played my first gig when I was 15.
Okay.
Then when I was 18, I started to studying at Tehran Conservatory. I studied music for 2 years. And the electronic music journey for me started because I used to be a drummer and musician. So on that age, I was mostly into live music. But then about like 2015, I started to like electronic music and learning how to DJing, and then slowly organizing parties with my friends in Iran. And then 2017 I traveled to India, Goa. If you know, Goa is the birthplace of psytrance music. So I played my first festival there in Hilltop. Hilltop is one of the most famous places for psytrance music. I played my first festival at Hilltop with my friend Elvis Lobo, which is a legendary guitarist in Goa. We played my first gig there. So my journey in electronic music started from there.
Oh, that's nice. What about you, Tsegaye?
Yeah, my music, my DJ, life starting from Vasa, but even if I wasn't that much active in Vasa because of the job and then other things, but mostly I'm active in Turku. But before that, I used to listen to music for so many years, and maybe I would say from 2009 or 10 into electronic music. But there is a lot of sources that you can get the music from. So, and then I used to listen whole DJ sets Carl Cox, those Adam Beyer, those kind of music. Then I became more into the music, really interested in the music, and then I used to save some kind of playlist or so on for so many years.
Yeah.
Then I think 2015 I tried some events in Vasa then, but
as a DJ,
yeah. I moved to Turku for studies. It's a Corona time, and then after the Corona time again, when the nightclubs are open, and from that time I've been really I've been playing a lot of events. But now the last 1 year I've been more hosting the events at Urge, booking the DJs, and then also sometimes also I play when it's our own events. I became really busy also on the weekend because I have to host also the other events at the same time.
So at the moment you are behind the DJs, you're a bit the manager.
It kind of, I would say, yeah, I'm kind of host, and then also I'm more responsible about the events in Uge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell a fun fact about myself.
Tell us.
Probably not the only one, but I don't really listen to music anymore. I go to concerts and I play music, but I don't really listen to it on my own. Because for me, music is more about something that brings people together, and I'm interested about the community aspect of electronic music. And what's your take into it? And so we have two different guests from two bit different backgrounds. Tsegaye, who is with the Uge Klubi and hosting events, and then we have Ramtin, who is working in the mental health sector. The community aspect of the electronical music, I know that it brings people together, a lot of different people, and it can be as sort of a safe haven for people who come to a new city and they don't know people, but this is one way of gaining a community and a sense of belonging. So, but what is your take on this? And you have two different perspectives, perhaps. Who wants to start?
Fine.
Yeah.
I can start. As a newcomer, actually, when I moved to Finland, it was pandemic time. So all of the events were closed. And when I moved to Finland, I used to live in Tampere for about 2 years. So on that period, everything was closed. So it was almost impossible to meet everyone. But also I didn't lost my hope, and I posted in a Tampere and Bandit Facebook page, and I found a friend, Teemu Kiskila, and we start our collaboration project called Masterendi. It's a mix of techno music with traditional world music, especially Iranian music. So we start that project together there. But when I moved to Turku, the pandemic was getting lower and lower, and then I through Keida's restaurant.
And
I
he
met-
worked a lot at Kajbaf.
I met some TYEMYY guys, and then I joined TYEMYY. So that was, I can say, my entry to music scene in Turku. And then slowly, I start to knowing people through the parties, festivals, and especially also Cosmos Festival. When I attended the first time, I start to also know more people.
Yeah, maybe we can explain to people who have never heard about it that Kajbaf is a restaurant in Turku, but people come here to chill for hours, I feel, and there are very often events during the evening. And Cosmos Festival, so I've never been there personally, but can you define what it is?
Cosmos Festival is the biggest tribal electronic gathering in Finland, happening in Ristina.
Yeah, it's
Mikkeli.
during summer.
During
Right.
summer, yes. This year is gonna be 10th of July.
And if you go there, you will know one of the DJs because Ramtin is often playing there now.
Yeah, I'm playing for the second time this year. I'm playing my solo project this time.
Ooh la la. What about you, Tsegaye? What's your take on community building with music?
Yeah, maybe if I explain this one better. Back in the days, now, like I said, we have a nightclub which is only dedicated to have this electronic music. But by the time when I moved to Turku, because I'm very interested and very active in this kind of music, then I used to go to this kind of events where we have, but by that time we have this more of underground parties. And then it was a kind of like, we might have one event in one mess, like, some organizers, and then everybody knows more, at least the DJs knows each other. And when somebody is sharing, the information on somewhere, and you go there. And by that time, to have 100 people for one event, it's a kind of not easy, because the music scene, the electronic music scene, is a kind of, I wouldn't say introduced. There is a lot of people who's into electronic music, but there wasn't so much audience. One is maybe it wasn't properly, established or channeled.
Yeah.
And then, so nowadays, I was like very surprised, jumping 3 years into the future, that you have times you have full house, but there is always audience coming to Uge. The whole technology, for example, the SoundCloud, the apps, Spotify, Tidal, and then this TikTok, this kind of apps helps a lot, because now there is more younger audience in the music.
Do you feel that having an institution like Uge Klubi that publishes regular events instead of having something a bit hidden all the time may help to make it more popular in Turku, and to show that, okay, in Turku there is an electronic music community?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Because the reason is we are very open, and then we have a different type of events. Many of the audience, they know what's Uge. People who are interested into the electronic music, they definitely know what's Uge. So if you promote your event through Uge channel, then you can reach the possible domains, the possible audiences. So it's easier to have event there. People always expect that there's going to be non-commercial music, then they come to Uge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I had asked you to think about a little anecdote about your events, now that we'll talk a bit about the atmosphere, the community. And could you maybe tell us about one specific event or one specific anecdote that happened during one of your events that maybe marked you, or that you're like, okay, this was a fun day, or this was a really weird thing? I don't know, it can be positive or negative. Ramtin is smiling, so maybe he has an idea already.
There is a lot, but I would say last summer at Cosmos Festival. I played 2 gigs, and 1 gig was with the collaboration that I have with my Finnish friend, Masterendi. At the beginning of the set, we played a 1-hour set. At the beginning of the set, the dance floor was like 1/3 full. And then slowly start a very, very bad shower rain. And the rain get like so hard, but there was still 5 people jumping and dancing under the very, very hard rain. And it was one of the beautiful moments that I had in my
These
life.
5
And,
people made my day.
yeah, I never forget their laughs, their smiles, and it was pretty nice. And then the rain get less, and then slowly the dance floor got full. So when we finished, the dance floor was pretty full, and it felt good.
So it was a full adventure. Just one set. I
Yeah.
remember one of your anecdote for Cosmos. Told me that one of your friend left with your equipment by mistake. That you
Yeah.
were supposed to play, and one of the friend wanted to protect the equipment from the rain and went away with all Ramtin's equipment set. So it'd be difficult to.
I don't want to complain about Finland's weather on this podcast, but it is what it is.
What about you, Tsegaye? Do you have a little story for us?
I don't have like this kind of moments. And then I was mostly also I played inside,
Yeah.
like inside a venue.
So no rain for you.
Yeah, no,
No rain adventures.
yeah, no, Reina, I haven't. There is sometimes I played in Kirja Kafila during, yeah, and also at Ilmiö festival on the basement.
We recommend the Ilmiö festival.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it's happening this year, but probably next year.
What would you like to tell anybody who's maybe looking into electronic music, is interested into it, but doesn't really know how to start? Maybe some DJing, but hasn't got any experience. What would you recommend for them to do? Tsegaye can start.
Yeah, for me, I would really recommend, for example, nowadays, everybody can be DJ, because back in the days, if you jump 10 years back in the days, it was so difficult. You can't have a DJ equipment by yourself, and then it was only very expensive once. But now you could have a gear, with 200 euros at home. But the most important thing I would say, when you became a DJ is the music. The music is really important, because it's not the skill, the mixing, or the music is really important. You have to make sure that you integrate well with the audience. There are some DJs who have a lot of lists, a lot of music or catalog. Those DJs are the one, who last longer. But if some people they want to try and DJ, maybe they have saved, let's say, a couple of music, 10 music or something like that. Then after they perform one set, then it's over. If they don't, if they don't keep listening. So DJing is something you need to upgrade yourself. You have to listen all the time, music. You have to be really connected. You have to be in love with the music.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to renew yourself.
My roommate and dear friend Ville, also known as DJ James Darker, he's exactly like you described. So he's listening to a lot of music, and he's always before his gigs, even though it's just a gig at somebody's house party, he's buying new tracks that he can play so that he can perform something new and unique. And I'm always telling him, dude, you got you got more songs than Spotify. Why don't you just play those? But he can't stop himself. And then I, on the other hand, he's been schooling me to DJ, so I've played a few gigs. But I've got my 15 songs, and I always play them.
So you have a bad example on exactly what you should
So
do.
I just want to say that you could do it like that as well, but maybe it's good to listen to what's out there a bit more than I do.
Yeah, you have to be in love with the music. It just because if you are in love with something, then you are always there. It's just like, for example, if I would explain today, I have been listening to music. Like I think most of the DJs also agree with this. The DJs, they are already listening some music every day. It's a kind of something that's always with you.
Constant inspiration. And
Yeah.
I think actually that's one thing that I can see with Ramtin, because every time I visit him and his dear wife Faize, that was a guest before, he is always at the studio with your friend Leo. I don't know what's his DJ name also.
Anarchic.
Anarchic. So we are all the time discussing, I tried this new computer, this new software, and now we're doing this effect. And I think one cool part of, if one day you see Ramtin in concert, is that he plays music live also. So he has extra instruments on stage, and I think that really adds a layer to the live event. When you have the DJ putting up an instrument, and you have, like, for instance, the mouth harp, that is one of my favorite things. And also, like, wow, wow, wow. I cannot imitate the sound, but do you feel that this is something that you would recommend to add some, like, this is the music also originally more from your country? You're adding your own spice to your music. Well, I will come back to the original question. It was, what would you advise to young DJs? But I feel that this is a bit your specialty.
Yeah, it was about almost 3 years ago that I decided to produce my own music and playing only my own music.
Oh, okay.
And I think the first techno set that I played fully was my own music, was at Klubi.
Oh, everything's connected.
Kesa Massive.
Okay.
After party.
Yeah,
I think.
Kesakidas Massive.
Yeah. That was first time that I played my own, like, only my own music, not playing other people's music, and so on. So now I have 3 different sets. One is dub and chill, one is ambient, and one is techno, psychedelic techno, more exact, if I'm gonna say. So because I used to be a musician before being DJ. When I start DJing and organizing parties, I always had some instruments with me and play on, like, music because I saw people like it. Because mostly at the parties there is just a DJ playing and people cannot see what DJ doing. If you just go very close, you can see, but people like to see an instrument which is playing. Or
yeah, and it's more rare in our generation also, because it's so popular to make music with, like, a computer, that I feel personally I miss instruments. I miss live person. So maybe that's what Janne should add to his DJ set.
Should. Maybe then I can go get away with my 15 songs.
Soon you will produce them. So what would you advise to young DJs or people who want to become a DJ?
I think Tsegaye told about young people who wants to be a DJ. Let me say about young people who wants to be a music producer.
Okay.
If you want to make music, you have to know the music theory. Nowadays, I saw many people who are trying to produce music, but they don't know anything about music. And it's not that difficult to just learn the basics of music theory. So if you want to start producing music, start with music theory, learn it good, and then also listen to many music that your ears got grown, and then you can make better music.
What can you recommend a place where people can learn music theory from? Is there perhaps a some channel on YouTube that teaches it, or do you need to go to a private teacher?
Työväenopisto, they have music courses, for instance.
Yep.
I think it's a good for people who don't know what it is. It's like in Finland you have these services of sort of adult teaching evening course, and they are
Very
really
affordable.
Yeah. And so there is one in each city, and we have one in Turku, and there are many music courses there, so you can learn how to play a lot of instruments and even how to make instrument. I found how to make a violin class. Yeah. So this is a really nice place to learn, but maybe you had others.
Yeah, sure. YouTube is now like a university for music.
Yeah,
you can find everything. Even if you want to produce in a specific genre, you can search and then you will find lots of things. But I also recommend, if you want to produce music, I also recommend to learn an instrument. When you can play an instrument, you can use it in your production, and then you know also the music theory, and it's gonna be like a shortcut for you.
Yeah, have you ever tried to learn an instrument, Tsegaye?
Not at all. And then I haven't been also producing. I mean, I have never even started, producing music. But that's also one of the next thing I'm like, when I had like a little bit free time. That's also the thing that I want to start with.
Yeah.
I haven't played any of my own songs, but the only thing I have been doing is like maybe I'm mashing two songs, something like that.
Yeah, and it's interesting from my point of view, because I also don't play instruments, and we are facing two musicians.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a bit impressive when I know people who have studied music. I tried to study like solfège. I don't know how you say it in English, like how to read music. I was so bad at this, so I abandoned very fast. And I was singing when I was young in choirs, and I was like, I don't need to learn how to read the note, and now I regret so much not studying, because I feel as an adult it's a bit scary or impressive to be like, oh no, I will be like kids learning everything from the start. But I feel that it's like a language in the end, and we need to accept that it will be like learning Finnish, that at the beginning we will do really weird
I was
sounds.
gonna say the same thing.
The learning will
sounds
like
familiar with the fear of Finnish language.
Oh, one thing. If there's anybody listening who's perhaps wanting to become a music producer or already is producing, but is lacking a community, TYEMYY is actually organizing these producers' nights every Wednesdays. So yeah.
Good call.
Go there.
Yes. Good call. Yeah. So if people want to learn about Klubi, where do they find you? Where are you located? Do you have pages on the internet?
Yeah, we are using Instagram for a promotion, and we have also Facebook, but the majority of the audiences are on Instagram, and at the moment also I think most of the, I would say, if you want to have events, Instagram is the best platform to promote events. So they can find us on Instagram, UG Klubi, and then it's the same thing in Facebook. We have also a page.
And if you don't know where Klubi is, it's spelled UG.
Yes, UG KLUBI.
And it's in the city center. Yeah, because we say it the Finnish way. So if people don't find what is Uge, how do I spell this? It's normal. It's in the city center. I don't even know the address, but you will find it on Instagram. What about Ramtin? Do you have events to advertise?
Let me first talk about my own project and also the collaborations that I have. As I said, I have 3 solo projects now under my name, Ramtin K. I have an ambient set. Last time I played at TYEMYY event at Martinkirko, the ambient event. It was pretty nice with visuals, and it was almost a full house event.
So it's an event in a church
Ecclesia.
for those who don't know, and it's once a year usually.
Yeah, so it's a kind of sci-fi inspired background music mixed with live instruments and singing, which will be live. My other music project is my Side Up Side Chill project. It's a psychedelic downtempo music. I've been producing this music for more than 4 years. And my third project is, and I would say my main project is my psychedelic techno project. I started producing like about 2 years ago, and now I have a full 1 hour and a half set ready. That's a kind of mix of minimal driving peak techno and also psychedelic sounds mixed with live instruments and singing. And I have 2 collaboration projects. One is Masterendi with my Finnish friend Teemu Kiskila. We will playing at a dance music festival on May at Tampere.
I checking the agenda.
I don't remember what day is.
I will put all the links of the events in the description of this episode. So
yeah, 22 of May in Tampere, and my other collaboration is with Leo Anarchic. We start producing about 2 years ago together. We have an album ready to publish. We played our first gig at Cosmos Festival last year. And then Leo played our album at Ozora Festival, which is one of the biggest festivals in Europe. And I hope our album will be published soon.
Fingers crossed.
From my own solo project, there is 1 track from my chill project and 1 track from my techno project on SoundCloud. You can check it out on my SoundCloud. And good news about my ambient project. We will record a very good video with live performance in Finnish nature in summer.
Okay.
And it will be out after summer, probably.
Perfect. So you know where to go every week almost. Uge Klubi. Otherwise, you have these few dates to see Ramtin or to listen to his production online. Thank you everyone for this episode. Thank you, Janne.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And wishing you a nice week with a lot of parties.